Good morning, everybody, and welcome back to the hottest marriage show that people are starting to hear about. Here with my wonderful co-host, the one who does everything well. How are you doing?
I am doing well. I'm reporting from the icy elements of the inside of this apartment. This man turned this heat down. Because it was warm yesterday. He turned the heat down. Y'all, you ever met somebody who just slide that mug all the way over the thermostat all the way over? What?
You know, I didn't even consider why it was so cold. But I have been chilly. But I guess, you know, when you grow up poor.
Oh my God. We gotta hear about we grow up poor.
Like there's look, do you remember when we used to have company in the first summer and the summers that come in Atlanta? It's so crazy.
Yeah. John used to sweat box our house out. One time we had a gang of people at the house. We had a townhouse, and we had windows at the front. We had sliding door and windows at the back. So, you know, I prefer the fresh air over the AC. And we had good circulation until we had 90 people in the house. And we had like that microfiber couch. I know we got a couple of friends that if they listen to this, they're going to start laughing because it was so hot, but nobody would tell anybody. Nobody would tell us.
You know, it's crazy because apparently it used to be like jokes, how long or, you know, when is John going to actually turn on the air? You know, I'm going to tell you, the things that I used to shortcut cost on, like so that I could live a particular type of way, I'm like, I'll spend money on these shoes, but I'll make my friends uncomfortable for like a holiday dinner.
To the point where they were texting each other across the room about how hot it was.
Yeah, it might have been a little warm. You know, it's crazy because I think I was just waiting for somebody to say, hey, because, yeah, I really do. Like, it wasn't like I wouldn't have turned it on. And I didn't tell anybody that I wouldn't turn it on. I guess it was like, dang, if he doesn't know that it's time to turn it on.
I don't know if we have sweat on our brow,
yeah,
that maybe he should turn the air on. Oh, that was horrible.
Yeah, that was different. But yeah, I guess, like I said, you know, being poor, I was literally just looking to cut costs. And it doesn't make any sense now. But I can tell you this, there's a large percentage of people out there that think the same way as I do. Look, I'm going to tell you this. I saw on Facebook maybe a couple weeks ago when the temperature dropped, somebody said, I dare somebody from Michigan say it's cold enough to turn the heat on. I'm like, what? It's cold. Like, it's so crazy the things that we got pride for. Like when I went to when we moved to Abu Dhabi, and well, how about this? We don't even got to go that far. Let's go when I moved to Orlando. And then I go to Michigan. I'm like, man, it's cold. And I was like, man, you act like you ain't I ain't from Michigan, but you act like you ain't lived here for a long time. I was like, man, cold is cold. So then you're in Orlando, and when the temperature dropped, rarely did it do that. You be like, it's cold. Man, you from Michigan. You should know what cold was. Look, first of all, I'm uncomfortable. That's the reason why I'm saying it. But it's like, if you grow up in a particular place where that's just what it's known for, that means you got to just understand how to feel that forever. That was weird. Ooh, somebody over here tired.
Look, anyway.
I'm just saying.
But yeah, he definitely had us in a hot box. And I hate air conditioning though. Living in Abu Dhabi was hard just off of the strength of you always had the air conditioning on.
Yeah, I mean that's like everywhere too.
Because if you open a window, number one, it's hot, and during the little window where it's not hot, that little window of space and season, the sand is blowing all in the damn house through the windows.
No, when the weather's good, it's good.
Look, no,
You a
So
lie.
it was, look, I definitely got used to the warm weather and being outside. I will say that, but I really, really wanted more fresh air season.
October to April. It's like 6 months.
Yeah, but then when you have the windows
You
open,
can't do that
I like
anymore
to have
after
my
that.
I like to have my windows open when I sleep. The mosquitoes get you that whole time. So you got to fight the fight. Which fight do you want to fight?
Well,
Here the mosquitoes killed us this year though. It was like,
we didn't have any windows open.
I don't understand what those mosquitoes were trying to do this year in Michigan or even across. I don't know if it was internationally, but I know that here in these here United States, people were complaining about the mosquitoes.
Well, if you have like bad blood, you don't have to worry about that. Mosquitoes only mess with good blood.
Whatever. They told me up.
We know what kind of blood you got.
I got that good sugary blood or something.
Today we were walking and we were talking about, I forgot how it started, but I know that we ended up talking about service workers. I have a friend who's a fire chief. And he told me that like if a fire department reports to a scene and like it was something out of their control, that the house goes down and the fire the crew can't say I'm sorry because the people can take action against as if they were responsible for the house burning down. And I was just thinking how, like, it's not even about being a human anymore. You can't even feel sorry you can't voice it that way. You have to be like, I don't know, better look next time. I don't know. It was crazy.
When I first started nursing, I remember I went to a restaurant with my friend. And as a nurse, you want to help people if they're in trouble, but you also understand that when things go bad, people grieve and they assign blame to as many possible people as possible. And so there was this good Samaritan law that we were taught about in nursing school where it was like, you can go and help, but you do not have to tell, you can choose not to. You can. But if you go and help, you do not have to tell them who you are. Because if you tell them who you are, they'll be like, oh, that nurse Kanika was here and I remember seeing her do X, Y, and Z. That's what happened. That was probably where it all started. It's her fault. And then it could blow back on you, even though you were just trying to be a good person and just help out. So when we go in this restaurant, we're standing there waiting to be seated and someone was like, calling the ambulance, and I heard what they were saying. And my friend looked at me and she said, "You're not going to go and help?" And I was like,
I just want you to know when she told me this story, I was just like, God.
Yeah, because like while she was saying that to her, it was like a quick thought and it was like, aren't you going to do this? To me, I'm like, okay, I'm a new nurse. I don't know what I'm walking into. If I make a decision, like I don't even know what's going on right now. I can definitely help, but I took a minute to think about what people can say or do. It was weird. So when she said that, I'm like, oh yeah, of course. So I go over there, the person was bleeding unexpectedly, talked to them, took their heart rate and things of that nature, asked them all the questions, put his legs up because he was bleeding. And there were a lot of other things that were going on, but just to get an idea of how crucial this was until the first responders came, it wasn't super crucial. So it was perfectly fine. And he was like explaining to me why this was happening to him. He understood. He went against his doctor's orders, blah, blah, blah. And so it was fine. And when the emergency responders came, they went about their business, did their thing. But I really, to her, it was one step. For me, it was two steps, thinking of whether or not I was going to intervene. And it's crazy because, as a new nurse, all the information is fresh. even as an old nurse, nurse is a nurse, and you know what you need to do, you know what you should be doing, and you get into. Mind you, I never wanted to be an ER nurse. I don't like no emergencies whatsoever, but I had to think about that. Like, okay, Kanika, are there any points in this, like, and I was thinking as I was helping him and asking questions, how many different scenarios I need to think about. Am I thinking about anything that's going to get me in trouble? Like, is there something that I should be doing? And once I had gotten through with like checking him and asking questions and stuff, I felt fine. But there was a lot of thought going into something that shouldn't have had, you know, as a nurse, you should just be like, boom.
Yeah.
But I was like, you know, people want to sue no matter what.
I know, that's what I was saying. Like earlier, I was telling her, like, she is by far one of the most qualified people at that moment in time. And she has to think about her professional career over the life of a person, because she doesn't know the intent of this person or what happens. Like if it goes bad or if it goes, whatever happens, like she has to worry about the perception of this person she's trying to actually save.
Yeah. And that's, you know, for me, I'm a surgical nurse. That was my initial training. Not anymore, but so emergencies, like I remember when I did my interview and they were asking me what area I want to go into, I said not ever emergency. I didn't want to do labor and delivery. I don't like high octane type of situation. I don't like none of that. I want to know what I'm walking into in most cases. And in this case, I was like, okay, Kanika, just make sure you just cover everything, girl. Just cover everything. and
that's crazy. You got to think like that, and that's where mistakes happen, because you're overthinking something that you can do easier than anybody there.
Yeah. It was and you know, I don't think that I don't know what all nurses think, and there may be other nurses that hear this and they're like, she is fooling. She should have just done blah 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 blah. But yeah. This was like a new change in my career. And when we had that discussion about our liability and understanding that people can come after you for something you did because you were trying to help, it, like, that moment made me think about it. It's crazy that two-step thought is like, John, Day, Dallas, my livelihood. Okay, Kanika, just get your head together and come on. Emergency or not, here you are, right? And I had to go make decisions. But I never thought, when we learned, I was kind of like, wow, we really got to think about those kind of things or whatever. But in that moment, I was like, really? Yeah. This is, you know, and this is what people have to think about all the time. You know what I'm saying? It's,
you know, like, it's, yeah, because it to me, in my head, when you told me that, I was like so disturbed, because I was like, the amount of things that you have to think about over the life of this person or the health of this person. And that's terrible to be in that field, and you have to think about those things. Like, you can only be a professional when you're at work, but outside of that,
right.
It's so crazy.
So yeah, because if I made a decision,
oh
my God, I'm so sorry. I think the cold
is
making me tired.
First of all, it's warm now.
Yeah, I think that it's just, you know, at the hospital, you have that assurance that you have these people vouching for you. You got the support you need. If anything, you know, you don't have to make any quick decisions because all the equipment you need is there. You know what I'm saying? But when it's just you and you don't have anything, that's a whole other level of something that you have to be concerned about. And you know,
so you know what I was thinking, I remember when I was an educator in Atlanta, Georgia, during the crisis of bad test scores being passed along, and I don't want to give too much away because, you know, I was at a school that had got flagged. And you know what's so crazy? I often think about, like, at that point in my life, I was really trying to move up And if I was asked to participate in that, I would have done it. And I even looked at it if, like, in my head, I'm like, I feel like now this is a new game. I'm in a new place. This is what's going on. And if I don't do it, I'm thinking like, well, maybe I could lose my job. So it's like, I think about the people that got caught up in that and it was out of their control, unless you want to say that they stood on their own, like, okay, this is not right, and I'm gonna like. It was a very tough position for a lot of those educators.
Oh, heck yeah.
And unfortunately, a lot of them, like had to change their careers, and they could have, they just kind of got it caught up. And I'm telling you, as a person that was so close, that I would have got caught up in that mess too. And that's unfortunate because it was so many kids' futures that was on the line for a whole year due to all of the.
Oh yeah, that was crazy.
Yeah, and it's unfortunate that this education system, you like think about the teachers that, sacrifice so many of their hours just to help a kid, have a good day, and then you just get it all taken away because of some test scores, because we want to make sure that we are producing the best type of, I don't know,
test takers
to get into college and to fit into whatever machine that they've got. And when I say to college, I'm just saying as far as that's one one avenue, but they definitely have this machine going.
I feel like it's really just, we need good test takers, the ones that take the test to determine at the end whether or not you're good or you're bad. They don't really care about the level of understanding. That's one thing that beefs me out about school, because not all these kids are going to go to college.
Because look, test takers in sports are the largest revenue makers. And the reason why I say that, because if you think about where the money comes from, how it moves around, it's through like technology. Those are really great test takers. And then sports. So, if you take away music and art, nobody really makes money like that other than the small few who controls whatever. But art is appreciated after people die.
Oh, no, that's messed up.
You know what I'm saying? So, like, why would you have that in the school system? Because they're not going to be able to.
That's not going to give me no money right now.
No money right now.
Hey, but you know what would help me with my money right now? If you taught me for real algebra the entire time I'm in high school and quit trying to teach me calculus and trigonometry. Who uses trigonometry? Somebody let me know.
Honestly, like all of the adults in the world, there's probably like 0.005% of people who needs it after algebra 1.
Yeah,
or after the first half of algebra.
I want to know who's living their life every day talking about tangent and cotangent.
Oh my gosh.
But yeah, algebra 1 definitely.
Yeah, like that's what I'm saying. Like, it's set up, and I'm not saying that don't play the game, but understand that it's a game that you have to figure out what you need. But in order for us to get better, we need to really change the educational system, period, because we're learning about what? As far as history.
Oh my God. So let me tell y'all how I'm at. Have we talked about this?
What's
we
that?
Talked about days. So look. So what I realized when the kids went into the pandemic and we put Day in Dallas in online school, I had to sit with day in and day out with her social studies, and the entire year was focused on everything leading up to the revolution. Yeah, I'm going to be perfectly honest and say that does not matter. Like, we have so many things going on in this world. The stuff that took place that led up to the Revolutionary War is so minuscule in comparison to all of the topics and evolution, the things that we've done up to now, the ways in which, like, the different cultures that have come into this country that the kids should know about, history, as in how we used to treat each other so we could treat each other better. Those things are important. Like, I understand that history, know your history so you're doomed to repeat it. But we ain't starting a new country that I know of. Like, so why do we need to know about the revolutionary? Everything that she learned that entire year could have been learned in a quarter, if not less, because there's so many other things more important. And her entire year was based on that. And this year, I think, is based on what are they learning now?
Taft, the 20s, the Reconstruction era.
Yeah. They're spending the whole year
depression,
dealing with all of that stuff. And there are things that are really important in there. But I've looked at some of these learning standards that they want these people to know. So it's ridiculous.
What I've come to the conclusion of, just listening to you say that, I was thinking like, wow, are we talking about? I know that we could definitely change it, but, I think it's just because it has not been revamped in so long that nobody's willing to put that work in, and that is a lot of work.
It is, but you know what? I feel like we have a lot of all of this innovation they're pushing people to do in education. Mm-hmm. We got some real fresh blood in education coming out of these universities every year who want to get in these classrooms, and then they get frustrated because what they're teaching and what they know the kids need to know don't align. And so I'm feeling like y'all could start developing it now. And you could start. Who? This new blood.
Who's the new blood? That's what I'm saying. And who's going to get, everybody needs somebody to orchestrate something. Mm-hmm. So who's going to lead that charge? Because that.
Is there anybody out there that want to lead that charge? I don't know. How much? I don't even know how to find it. But I'm saying, can't we start this curriculum with the upcoming kindergarten group? Like, give them a year to get something together for kindergarten.
Yeah, I don't think.
And then follow them through.
I don't think a year or two is long enough to create a curriculum.
A kindergarten curriculum?
No. Because you got to know what they're going into. So it has to be some kind of blueprint of what we're trying to develop it into. Because to me, I feel like, okay, it's so many ways that you can do education. So you got this kindergarten group, right?
Right.
So who's going to teach them during first grade? Is it going to be the kindergarten teachers, or we're preparing a group of teachers prior?
Yeah.
So
I'm saying the year that so we take 2 years to develop this kindergarten curriculum. I don't think you need 2 years if you got the bright minds, but okay. So during that year, you're mapping out what's going to come up in first grade, because you need to know what these kids are feeding into. Okay, what is it? So what's going to come next? What's the next step? And then that means that first grade got 2 years to get their stuff together. And then those first grade teachers, they go into the field. And then you got 3 years to get second grade together. I think they should all go in knowing that they want to revamp this. Everybody pulls out the standards or the skill sets, not even standards. What skills and knowledge
that's what I'm saying.
They feel these kids need to know by the time they leave school.
That's the work.
It is. But I mean, I'm saying somebody made this curriculum for these kids when we were starting the industrial era, and they wanted these kids to be working in factories. That's why these kids act the way that they do, or they're educated the way that they are. We're in a whole different mind state.
No, I know it needs to be revamped. That's what I'm saying. But it's not that easy. I've thought about this, just trying to figure out if I had all the resources I wanted, what could I do? And that's what I'm saying. It's definitely not that easy. Even if you had it the way, if you had the smartest minds and they all agreed, it's still not going to cover everybody. You're going to it's just difficult. Mm-hmm. And we don't even have all of that, right? So it's way more difficult to even get to that idea. But I think we could definitely start with a subject at a time for sure.
Yeah.
And when I say a subject, I mean we could start with definitely math and English. And the reason why I said English, because I think that there are different parts of the country where certain languages needs to be recognized. Mm-hmm. Because if I think I speak English and I go to a certain part of the country and they think they speak English and I can't understand them.
Oh my God.
No, but I'm saying in several parts of the country you can
It's
like
true,
call
y'all.
out.
Yeah,
Like,
look,
and it doesn't matter what color you are.
doesn't.
It's just like with how they speak.
but it's true. I agree. I didn't say that to say that I didn't
Oh, I know.
agree.
Wait, the way I was looking
Oh,
at you
yeah.
and you was like,
Oh,
oh, here
my
we
God.
go.
Look, no, because we were talking about this when I moved to the South and then I started teaching. And my co-teacher, he was from Atlanta and he was real cool. You know, we worked really well together. The next year we got 2 new teachers to come in. One was from Atlanta, one was from Michigan, right? So we all ride together to training. And the guy from Atlanta, the newer guy from Atlanta, his dialect was so different. He was speaking English, but he was speaking Atlanta English. And I'm not talking about regular Atlanta English. I'm talking about, it's like.
Cat K shouted.
Yes. But the thing is, he was like, it was so hard. I could not catch it. And it seemed like everybody else in the car knew what he was saying but me. And I felt so bad because when he was talking, I was really trying to respond to everything. And I was responding inappropriately to whatever he was saying because my co-teacher was like, that's not what he said. I was like, well, what did he say? It took me a few weeks before I could catch on because my students didn't even speak. I think it was because he was from a more, I don't want to say College Park. I don't think it was College Park that he was from, but his dialect was so different from mine that I couldn't bridge it, and I needed my co-teacher to bridge it for me until I could do it on my own. And so I agree with you.
Yeah, and the reason why I said that because just the simple things can make environment that much smoother. Like I was telling her, I remember it was me and a group of friends, and I saw some guys with some Cartier iframes, and automatically in my head, I automatically think of 313. And when I saw that, I said, "What up, though?" I was like, "What up, though?" And they all looked at me and like they looked concerned, and then they remember where they are, and then it was like, "Oh, what up, though? You from the D?" And I'm like, "Nope." But it was like it just breaks. It makes people feel comfortable. Like, oh, okay, you know what I'm saying. So when we have people from poor areas, no matter what color, they take standardized tests trying to learn a specific type of English, or you know what I'm saying? It's like these kids are really smart, but if you're being held to the standard of an English that they don't hear on a regular basis, they are often ridiculed and put in a box as if they're uneducated.
You know what? I will never forget this because I never, ever, ever knew that I got this question wrong until I met you. So a toboggan.
Oh.
So we're going through one of the tests, and I remember they were talking about something, and they asked me to choose the appropriate word, and it was for a hat. In my head, I'm thinking a Scully or a beanie, and the word toboggan was on there. But for me in Michigan, a toboggan is a sled. And so it took me until I was 20-something years old meeting John, and John said, "Oh, my toboggan," and I was like, "What?"
Yeah.
What is that? Like, that's a sled. And he was like, "No, it's a hat."
Man, yeah, so listen, like that's crazy. So when I moved my senior year in high school, and I don't know, I said something like, I got to go get me a toboggan, and like, so I didn't know that my friends were looking at me crazy, and it came out later.
Like, he's a senior in high school.
It was like, what he talking about going to get a sled? And I'm like, what are you talking about? It's a skull cap. It was like a toboggan? And I was like, I had never heard of a toboggan being a sled until I came to Michigan, and then you.
Yeah. And I was like, what do you, dude?
It was crazy.
That blew my mind. So, yeah, I think that in and of itself can take kids down because we're measured by test scores. That's how kids are measured of who's smart and who's not. And though toboggan took me down.
Yeah.
Analogies took me down too, y'all. But
we're not gonna get into that.
Why was that really a problem for me? We will never know. But yeah, I'm just gonna say that off top. But anyway.
But I want to say, as far as the language aspect, it's different languages just in the country of the United States, right? And I was just thinking, like, I've been to different places and I can hear the dialect and I can hear the undertones or whatnot. But in a relationship with a person, the language gets a little more complex because you guys obviously have something in common where you guys created the relationship. But I was telling her, like, today, I need her to know, just like lying. Like, she thought she figured something out. Like, so we were kissing. Well, she was kissing me. She wanted a kiss, right? And like, she's laying on my chest and her face looks up and now her lips are on my lips. So I start kissing, but I'm not really.
It's just pecs.
Yeah. So, and I'm like trying to listen to this television because I got this thing in the background. So I'm like kissing her and I'm going at a rhythm. I'm feeling her, like she's like poking out like every like second, like kissing, like really soft. And then like now I'm like more engaged on what the television is doing. And like, so I start speeding up the pecs. Yeah. And then I pulled away because I wanted to listen to the television, and she said, "You always do that." And now I'm like, "I always do what?" And she said, "Every time you want to stop kissing, you'll speed up really quick." And I was like, "I don't think that's true, and I don't even know how you even came to that." But
then he could sit there and tell you that he really wanted to watch this TV show. He wanted me to stop.
But I'm saying though, that at that time I did. Yeah. But so
it's just like three.
That's not what we're talking about,
okay,
though.
go ahead.
My whole point was you tried to tell me, "Oh, you're doing it again," and I was like, "I really wasn't." And you was like, "Yes, you were," because you start.
I feel like it's a behavior you're not aware of.
But if I'm telling you what I'm thinking, there's no need for me to lie about something so little. That's why when I was talking about communication earlier, if she knows that I wouldn't lie about something so simple, then going forward, she'll have a better judge of how I would answer something.
This conversation is taking a 90,000 different turns. But you know what?
I was just talking about communication. Yeah, that's how I want you to know.
But you know what? No, it could very well be something you're not aware of. It's a behavior you're not aware of that you do. It's a tell, just like in poker. And I can tell when it's about to be over.
See, that's what I'm telling you.
But it doesn't mean that you know that, and that's your intention.
But at that time, you tried to tell me what I was feeling, and I was like, no, I wasn't. I'm sorry.
Hey, were you trying to concentrate on the TV?
No, it was already off. The first time I was, but the second time when you told me you did it again, I was like, I really wasn't. Because I wasn't you see what I'm saying? Cool. So I want everybody to listen to this. No matter how honest I'm trying to be right now, she's skeptical of, like, she don't even believe that I know the reality of that I was really not doing it. On the second one, I was telling you. The first time I get it. Look, see, if y'all see her. Anyways, she's so disrespectful. But I just wanted to also give a special thanks to all of the workers who actually go out to help other people.
Yeah.
And I know a lot of you do it for a paycheck because we have to, and it's unfortunate that we have to get a paycheck just to live. But those of you that go out there, whether it's, because you want to or you have to do it, somebody has to do it, and you guys are doing it. We appreciate it. And hopefully at some point, whoever listens to this is a seed for you. You can be more than that. You don't have to just be that, I promise. And I'm not talking about anything crazy at all, but you can be anything you want. Be great on purpose. Do what you want to do.
What do I want to do? I
I'm looking. I keep telling people. It was like, how long are you in the area? And I'm like, probably until the kids graduate. I was like, so what are you gonna do then? I was like, the wife and I are we're moving, like probably gonna move to the West Coast because we don't know what is out there like that. And I was like, probably gonna do like San Diego, San Francisco, Seattle, and what was the other one? Denver. And they said, whoa, what are you doing? I was like, what do you mean what I'm doing? It was like, you seem like you got a lot of money. I was like, why do you think you have to have a lot of money to live like that? Like, I think we get in the idea that once you live somewhere, you're committed there for so long that you can't switch it up. And I'm like, that's why I said, like, once you go to the other side of the world and you realize you broke it down to 2 bags each person with a carry-on and a backpack.
Oh my God.
Like, you can, like,
you realize you don't need that much stuff.
You don't. And I was like, we still have the same skill set. We have the same degrees. Oh, the degrees to count the change in your pocket really fast. A friend of mine said he did not understand that in a previous episode. So I wanted to explain why that is so funny to us. And it's probably going to go to the people that like Kanye West.
It's one of my favorite albums.
Yeah. And College Dropout, D-Ray, he used to say, these degrees, these degrees are going to keep you warm at night. And
see, these degrees are going to keep me warm.
And it was like, it's supposed to do all of these things. We think it's so funny because we have all of these degrees, and it was like an overpaid experience, to be honest.
And I can count the change in your pocket
really fast. And that was one of the parts of it. So those of you that didn't get it, go listen to that album.
Which one was that? College Dropout?
Yeah.
Yeah. I love that album, dude. That dude, he said, but you know what? My father didn't leave me anything, but he left me his degrees.
He did. Oh, or is that late registration? I don't know. But you know what? It was D-Ray.
It was definitely D-Ray.
Yeah,
I loved it.
It was really good. But I just want you guys to know. Oh, yes. Before we go, this is what I told my wife is going to happen. This is what the educators are going to become the next superstars. And I don't know when it's going to happen, but I'm going to just put the seed out in the universe. There are teachers that really love what they do. Can you just imagine that you become so good at what you do that you can put some lessons up on your own YouTube channel, and students will subscribe to your channel because you're that good, and you just put up, I don't know, a lesson a day, and that's it. And then you generate subscribers, and then the advertisers are going to come to you anyway. But you will be able to teach all around the world. And I believe that is how you can change education. If you truly believe you got, what it takes to set your ticket, because they pretty much tell you how much you're worth. They say, hey, if you got this much experience, not telling the people who put in the extra work versus the people who are just there to be there. They get paid the same amount. But if you had the opportunity to change how good or how much you really love your craft, this is the opportunity. You could actually invest in yourself and create a team of people that can set these things up. Like you can become your own entity, your own company. And who don't want the best teacher for the job?
Yeah, but then, like, how do they get, how do the students get accredited to graduate? Even though, so it opens up selection, like we have school of choice, then it's teacher of choice, which I don't see a problem with because it allows greater access to teachers with, those special skills that will work best for your student. I'm with that. But then how do you do the accreditation for? So
this is the thing. This is what I'm saying. So I don't have everything, but I'm saying like
a good idea,
it's decentralizing the educational system of the United States, where it allows new tests to come up or whatever whatever performance standard. But if these teachers are that like, no student is gonna mess with a teacher that's not gonna get them past it. You know what I'm saying? So it's up to the teacher to continue to elevate. But I truly believe that you really, what's crazy? This is another seed for the rest of you guys. you really don't need to go to school. Hey, you can get everything on YouTube. Like if you whatever subject area you want, you have like people who actually put up videos, they really love what they do. They may not have good videos because that's not their thing, but they really know what they're talking about. And you can do they give you the research of what they got it from. Like they do all of look, you have everything at the tips of your hand. You could become a specialist in something before you even graduate high school and be worth way more money than any institution is going to give you. But that might be too much work. So let's just go to school so we can go to prom. And
prom is fun.
No, it is. I know that's one of those things where you feel like I got to have a conversation with somebody like in my mid-20s, like, hey man, what's the greatest moment? You're like, prom.
Prom was never the greatest.
No, but that's for you. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Certain people are like, yeah, man, that was when I got to, or that's when I thought I was but I get it. But anyways, I know I got off on the tangent, but anything you want to say before we get out of here, dude?
No, not really.
Yeah, I know I kind of got on the tangent, but that was the soapbox. Some of you guys will understand where I was coming from. But it is really cold outside now, so y'all warm up. Make today better than yesterday. Don't worry about anything you can't control. GATA. Get after that action.
That action.
Get after you. Boom.